The presidential election was generally seen to be free, fair, and peaceful. However, there was in fact a huge array of electoral practices virtually in all the states of the Federation before the actual voting began.
It is incredible. In view of all this, I find the conclusion unfortunate but inescapable that the federal military government is guilty of bad faith, pure and simple. No one has accused me of any offense against any known electoral law or regulation. The people of this country went to polls on Saturday, June 12, 1993, and without let or hindrance chose me as their president. Didn't they? Yes.
Well, you heard the voice of former military president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida and, of course, the presidential candidate for the Social Democratic Party in 1993, Moshood Kashimawo Abiola. Well, we're still talking about IBB's memoir. You'd call it a book. It was actually launched last week. We saw the cream de la cream of this country, including some who were supposedly, at his mercy at the time, all applauding and, all smiles. And some of them had very incredible things to say about him. My guests, Eugene Abels and Aniekan Joseph, are still here. We're still trying to get Aniekan to join us. His line is not connecting. Unfortunately, today is an incredibly internet not friendly day because our internet is a bit down and it's not allowing us to have a straightforward conversation. Unfortunately, we're sorry if you were trying to watch us live on YouTube. We're no longer live, but we're hoping that we can come back again. Eugene was on the line before we went on that break. Eugene, I was asking a question. Can you quickly answer before we bring in others into the conversation?
I'm saying that I voted in the election. I was aggrieved. I was ready to bear arms. Because as at that time, we wanted the Yoruba people to lead secession because the Abels people then, who were our friends, said they remember the Civil War, that they felt betrayed. So they let the Yoruba start, then we will join. We in the Deep South were ready to join. But it didn't go that way. So even though he declared himself president at a particular time. Yes, so one of the issues you raised.
I think you have to mute yourself on Zoom. Let's be sure that the Zoom is stable before we go to the Zoom.
Yes, I've just done that.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the things you raised, that should he be punished? And I said that a lot of water has gone under the bridge. Most of the actors who are supposed to.
I wonder why we're having that feedback, Eugene. Let's try and turn on your mic on Zoom and let's test our Zoom and see if that works. Okay, so let's try Zoom now. Eugene, go ahead on Zoom.
Unmute yourself.
Eugene, you need to unmute yourself on Zoom. Eugene, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Your phone line is still active. Okay, so it's done now.
Go ahead.
Now I'm saying that the public, as usual, is disdain, and a lot of people are saying that there should be punishment, that a crime was committed against the state, this and that. Yes, they have a legitimate right to make that call. And I'm saying a lot of water has gone under the bridge. Those who will supposedly have the authority to do this cannot afford to do it, because in the next at the end of this year, campaigns will begin, not informally, for their re-election. They won't do that. Everybody's hands is in the pie. You could see them clapping in that place. That is our political reality. And I'm saying that, unlike in our time, when there's a more serious issue on the table, a member of Congress in the United States have accused an agency of theirs and their government of funding terrorism here, which has led to the loss of thousands, over millions of lives, and it's ongoing. And WikiLeaks have accused people who are living of connivance. In the last 10 years, religious leaders, serving governors, admitted of bringing people from outside the country to undo this, which are all treasonable offenses. And the people have not deemed it necessary to rise up. Is the one old man did, because he said that election will not announce the result. We're talking of one that constant present danger that is ongoing, that have deprived us of the food basket of the nation. We're in it. You're talking about the soap what happened almost 30 years ago. Okay. We're talking about what's going on now. We're deflecting. They're distracting us comfortably. We're getting distracted. Okay. I don't think it's important enough now, considering what is on the table. Okay. What is on the... Then you now hear an obnoxious thing from the military saying that they're radicalizing. How do you radicalize people who commit treason? Is it you? Do you have the power and the authority to do that?
Okay, Eugene, we're going to come back to this because this is a conversation I'm even having tomorrow. Let me come to you, Aniekan. You are obviously of this generation that Eugene is talking about, that we're allowing these, in his words, old men to deflect us, or rather confuse us or move our focus from what's most important. So what are your thoughts on, of course, the reactions and what we should be focusing on right now?
Okay, thank you, Maryann, and I'll try and be quick about this. There are several layers of thought around it. Number one, how we assume so much that we can influence the past. And we have to be patient to understand that the past by itself, you can't alter it. You can't change it. Fact number one. Fact number two is an assumption that we have layered on that fact, that Nigeria would have been better if that republic happened. It is almost irresponsible. It's reckless, almost irresponsible to assume that because an election was annulled, and to load on that expectation that maybe Nigeria would have been an industrialized nation in Africa. And I will tell you why. It is typically said that the taste of the pudding is in its eating, right? Mm-hmm. We have done this democracy business now for 26 consecutive years. And Ibrahim Babangida's achievement still stands tall. That is a concern. Someone did something 30 years ago, and if you outline it, it makes everything we've done the last 26 years insignificant. That is something that we should be worried about. So in an attempt to solve a problem, you have to admit as a person that you are not trying to solve or deal with issues beyond your control. Number two, we are talking about a gentleman that was trained not as a Democrat. This guy, by training, is a disruptor. Is someone that is trained to deceive. Is someone that is trained to destroy. Is someone that is trained to subvert. And you want to think about this, Maryann. The Osun election, there are judges and lawyers that are trained to strengthen democracy, that are by their action making a mockery of it. Because a judge will say all local government chairmen are sacked, another judge will say all local government chairmen are reinstated, and we are looking at a general that was trained to destroy. We have to be very careful that our emotions don't get the better of us. I know some of the audience might be disappointed, but it's important that we separate the facts and we are careful that we are paying attention to what is happening and we are deliberately engineering the future. I'll leave it at that.
Interesting.
Please, Maryann, before you proceed, because I like where he went to. That's if we say we want to call a judicial panel of inquiry or even a truth commission, all the politicians who came and stood, particularly from the Western Nigeria, who came and spoke against June 12, now they will all have to fall in line. this water go touch plenty people. Plenty people will be touched, including former presidents who came out to say that June 12 is not sacrosanct. MK is not the savior. Plenty people. You want to open those wounds?
Interesting. I want to bring Lagos into this conversation. Like you said, a lot of people might not agree with this because when I decided that we're going to talk about the different reactions, there are those who are calling for the head of every single person who was in that room. That these are the people who are aiding and abating, corruption in this country, and they were all applauding.
Can you behead yourself?
And there are those who
one with power.
And there are those who are also on your side of the divide saying, well, what have we done about the situation that we're in right now? We're sitting on a gun, a gun keg of, what do they call it? Yes, a keg of gunpowder. Yes, and then we're not doing anything about it. We're just, fanning ourselves. And, if your pockets are lined, then you're good to go. So maybe my audience might not necessarily be happy with this, but I'd like to hear Lagos. Join the conversation. Do you agree with my guest as to where they think that we should be looking as opposed to the emotions that we're allowing to fly left, right, and center? 0201 465 7190 0201 465 7190. On WhatsApp, it's 08095975805. We're back on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM, on Facebook, Nigeria Info FM. Share your thoughts, 60 seconds. Go straight to the point. We know it's a good afternoon already. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good afternoon, Maryann. God bless you.
Good afternoon.
It's me, Pastor Aniekan.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, this issue on grant, this issue of book launch, IBB versus our leaders, like as Mother Teresa said, he said, yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is yet to come. Today is here. Let's move on. I really don't like what happened. Nobody likes what happened in 1993 as the case were. But we have all seen the politics that played out last Thursday from every length and breadth of our country. It speaks volumes. But like as your speaker and your guest said, I think we cannot. The past now, it can't really help us. That nobody the past has helped. But if we want to start reprimanding our leaders, then we'll start that.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. 60 seconds is all you have. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Mazuda.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to thank Eugene and his brother, Aneta. They speak very well. That's excellent. You understand? So whatever happened, it don't pass. Let's move on. Because if you look into that, because there's a chief then during that election was told us that election would not work. We doubt him, but later he told us, what did he say? A big chief in the country then. So let us forget, because if you're looking for what happened now, you find it in this southern Nigeria. Not even Babangida is of course.
Okay.
So let us not to forgive ourselves and move on and let it not happen again. That was then let us move ahead.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling. Olumiwa is calling us. Hello, Olumiwa. Welcome to Hard Facts. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, Amira, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Yes, go ahead.
I was in secondary school when all this thing happened. You mean Babangida, that produced even Obasanjo? Oh my God. And even the Tinubu, we should forgive him. Do you know how many people die in my present? Because of the June 12. Babangida that introduced corruption to Nigeria. He killed Fatkan. He said Fatkan he want to bomb bridge and bomb presidential jet. Till tomorrow, the intelligence did not tell us who killed Delegiwa. Everything is still on this my memory. The reason this country cannot move forward right now because of this Babangida who for the Abacha. So we should forgive him. Oh, no wonder he got 17 billion naira for launching a book. And you want a new country? So injustice, Jesus Christ. So Tinubu can be in that place and be laughing.
I kind of knew that these kinds of reactions would come up. Hence, we're having this conversation. And please feel free to speak your mind. We'll do it within reason. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Maryann.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Ambrose.
Ambrose, go ahead, please.
Maryann, there is no way anybody will tell me to forget the past. Because if you don't look at the past, you won't know where you are going.
Okay.
The people who put us in all of this mess, they have to be accountable. Yes, one of your guests may be right to say that this democracy has not worked. And we have been talking. But what have they done about it? So a lot of us are concerned about this democracy. Just like he said, what is happening in Oshun, see what is happening in Edo State, and all over the country, the judiciary. I think the people who are the helms of our affairs, they have refused to let the judiciary be alone. They have refused to let the legislatures be alone. How can the president be giving money to the judiciary?
Ambrose, I'm so sorry. Your time is up, and I have to let you go so we can have many other people speak. Prince Wyas is calling us from Amor Duffy. Hello, Prince Wyas.
How are you, Maryann?
Fine, thank you. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, my dear. You see, I wrote it on my Facebook that Babangida beat the drum. I had to dance with kids till eternity comes. If this one keeps silent, it was better for him. Now, you have a lot of questions to answer Nigeria because you say, I take responsibility. Did he now apologize to Nigeria? The answer is no. As it is now, all those allegations against the dead body like Abacha, like all those like Delegiwa, the family will throw a question to him. We'll be answering questions every day and night.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question if you don't mind.
I'm with you, my dear.
If Babangida were to do a press conference right now and say, please Nigerians forgive me, I apologize for all that transpired under my watch, would that be all right for you?
Very good of you for that person. If he said that, I will not tell him to make the 70 billion realized for that book to be taken to all the family that died, the family that made the we that he hit a lot of tear gas. If he can do this, it will appease us a little bit.
All right.
But we never do that. Let it come.
All right. Thank you, Prince Wyas, for calling. I'm letting you go because of time. Emmanuel is calling us. Hello, Emmanuel.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Okay, Mega. Good afternoon. This is Emmanuel from Nigeria. See, I don't know the progress of Nigerians. 32 years ago, somebody is telling you, writing book to Nigerians that is apologizing over what? What about the lives that they lost lives and property that time? She compensate Nigerians, not to apologize. What about the lives that were lost that time? And somebody said that you should forget this and this. That was supposed to be taken away. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. I would like to ask people exactly what they would want because, I mean, of course, you have genuine reasons why you are taking a certain position, but what would you want?
I think you need to correct some things. Babangida didn't kill anybody.
Well, I mean, I heard someone say that people died, but he didn't kill them. They're accusing him.
He had left office. He campaigned for safety. He left. Yes, somebody was in charge. The goggled one was in charge. Number two, the executions that took place was a coup. The Oka coup in 1990 almost cost him and his family's life. His building was they demolished it with explosives. Yeah. So they need to have these things in perspective. So Babangida left. Somebody was in charge, took over, drove away Shonekon, took over, set up brought his two eyes, who was Major Mustafa, who took over, set up those
who's also now a politician.
Mustafa was in jail for almost 10 years for things that happened during that period. So there's a whole lot. So people, if you're a military man, if you carry out a coup, they don't, you see, the present generation have not witnessed public executions. We did. You don't try a coup under a military rule. If you fail, you're dead. The only man surviving from that thing is Cornelian, who's on air from time to time. And I think him and Babangida have reconciled after he was part of the Oka coup as at that time. He went on, he was able to be alive. So if you fail, you are killed. So all that didn't happen. So we need to put this in perspective properly.
I think the most important thing is for us to be good students of history and not rely on hearsay. Because if
read the book,
exactly, well,
beg them.
We don't necessarily have to read IBB's book. There's several write-ups on what happened
so that you can,
at the time.
You can criticize him very well. Like now, I've read, so I'm talking with authority, okay. And I can tell you that his excuse for annulling the election is not tenable.
Okay.
Because I read it. Yes, for a soldier who could go into Nigeria unarmed to confront Dinka, he should have announced that result and let the heavens fall.
Okay, let me. I want to move this conversation into something that's very important, which I want to lay a foundation for a conversation I want to have tomorrow. I'll start with you, Aniekan, and then I'll end with Eugene. There are two issues right now on ground: federal government versus Binance, and the Binance executive who was released is singing like a canary. The federal government has come to put up a long statement about the fact that, he's lying, don't believe what he's saying. That's on the one hand. The senator in the United States, or the congressman in the United States, who has come up with some research that he read out on the floor of the National Assembly or the Congress in America, has obviously caused a shake-up in Nigeria. But has that shake-up really been taken into consideration? We heard that the National Assembly said, that this issue should be looked into. There should be an investigation. Does it look like it brings the question, is it that other people carry Nigeria's problems? Let me use the local parlance. Carry out Nigeria's problems on their head much more than we, who are the ones that are passing through the problems. Detail for what the UAE did for us with a list of financiers of corruption, or rather terrorism, which we've done nothing with. And you made a great point alongside Eugene. Why are we not paying serious attention to this issue, making it front and center, as opposed to these distractions that we have every single day, whether it be Oshun, whether it be Miranda in the Lagos Assembly, whatever it is. Aniekan.
As usual, that's a
very
layered question, yes. But there is a way to respond to this without belaboring the point. Unfortunately, Maryann, we stare the reality of weak institutional capacity in the face. If you do a layman's review of the last 40 years in this country, every opportunity for us to demonstrate institutional capacity has failed. I remember there was a time there was a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. At best, it was partial. Goodluck Jonathan came in and said he wanted to call a national conference to demonstrate to the world that there's institutional capacity, elite consensus, and political will. Till tomorrow, we have no idea where that document is and what we need to do to move forward with it. You know, there was another job a certain man called Orosanye did a long time ago on the review of the civil service, the Orosanye report. We have demonstrated that we do not have the capacity and the discipline to take steps that help us move forward. So sometimes the truth is, in trying to solve a problem, you must be honest and really demonstrate that you understand it. So that when someone in the US in the Senate says that, we have evidence that foreign actors collaborated with local actors to destabilize the nation, it should tell you that it's a reflection of weak institutional capacity strengthened by weak people and poor cultural, political, and, for lack of a better, spiritual core. And we have to look at these things and be honest, so that we are not asking ourselves too much.
Mildly educated populace.
Exactly.
Eugene, in closing, because I have just 1 minute, you talked about, mildly educated populists. And I also said something about hearsay. We're very sentimental people and very emotional people, and that's not to play on the intelligence of the average Nigerian. But even for those of us who are mildly educated, what are we doing to push for some sort of reforms or strengthen our institutions? You see, we might call Donald Trump whatever we want to call him, a dictator. He's trying to change America to Africa, and weaken the institution. You know,
also suffering from a mildly
but in America, at least the judiciary works. Some systems and institutions were strong. Let's not talk about America today, but what can we do that we're not doing today to change that narrative? And will we ever be able to, surmount this in 1 minute?
We will not be able. For instance, if you read the book, you see where the problem started that eventually led to Ramsay coming in. When he spoke about the purge by Murtala Muhammad, if you read the book, you will know that's the origin when the civil service was damaged and what happened. First of all, with the dodgy awards under Gowon, then Murtala coming to purge civil servants, and civil servants becoming afraid that if we could lose our job one day, like what Doge is doing in America, then why do I have to kill myself? Because the bureaucracy outlives the politicians. They're there for 35 years. They're to guide, educate, train, and lead, and support their support system, which made the institutions weak. But what happened under Murtala Muhammad made the civil servants to start looking out for themselves. Now, bringing it back to
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Yes, if the military say they want to de-radicalize, any man who connives, first of all, bears a weapon, which is against the law. 2, has committed murder, which is against the law. 3, has connived with a foreign body, which is a treasonable offense. If you are radicalizing a man like that, you have no reason to imprison Aniekan.
Interesting. You have opened a new can of worms, Eugene. I want to go on a quick break. When I come back, I'll be wrapping up this conversation. We have a quick 2-minute break. When we come back, Eugene, Abels, and Aniekan Joseph here in the studio. We're talking about Nigeria today, before, and tomorrow. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
Cooking come alive, oh. For that tasty meal when you like, oh. I mean, you want cook food to impress, oh.
Whether it's jollof or na stew, even for porridge or spaghetti, cook to impress with Pepper Terra.
As we celebrate 30 years of Chocolat Royale, 3 decades of baking joy and creating delicious memories, we want to take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to you, our wonderful suppliers. Your quality ingredients, reliable service, and unwavering support have been the backbone of our success. From the freshest flour to the finest chocolates, every product you've provided has helped us craft the pastries our customers love. Your partnership and dedication have been instrumental in building our reputation and bringing smiles to countless faces. Thank you for being an essential part of our journey. Here's to 30 years of collaboration and to many more delicious milestones ahead.
This Monday, I Beg to Differ debate competition returns. Nigeria, the hostilities return. The competition is relentless. I Beg to Differ is back with the remaining 8 matches in the playoffs. At 4 p.m., Chukwemeka David Obioma Isiwa will face off with Michael Victor Chinecherem as they debate the topic. Increase in telecom tariffs is unreasonable at this time.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.